We're back, baby. It's a charity stripe. Hit your free throws because they are free. Joshua Fisher, Nikki Snacks Kreider, the Daily Stripe, February 21st, 2023. It's a Tuesday. Back in the studio. Good to see you, Nick.
Club going up.
What club going up on a Tuesday? I haven't gone out on a Tuesday in a while.
Probably since college. Dollar beers.
Dollar beer. Did they shut Abel? Is that true? They shut Abel's down?
Haven't been back, but I assume they have.
That is a shame.
That's what that's my little birds tell me.
Your little birds. A couple little Blue Jays. Speaking of Blue Jays, baseball. Back, baby. New rules into effect.
Love rules.
Pitch timer, 15 seconds with bases empty, 20 seconds with runners on. Hitter gets one timeout per plate appearance. Must be in batter's box with 8 seconds left. Pitchers get 2 disengagements, pickoff attempts or step-offs per batter. Violations are a balk. Limits on pickoff attempts led to 26% increase in stolen base attempts in minors. Pitch timer helped reduce game by 25 minutes in minors in 2022. Thoughts on the pitch timer?
I'm for it. I don't think it's too drastic or anything like that.
Okay.
There are a lot of guys in baseball that take way too long, and it eats up a lot of time in the game, and it's also just boring.
The batter's box thing to me is like, dude, stepping out, in and
right.
out. It's like, come on.
It goes both ways. Same thing with pickoffs, too.
It's not as big of an issue as, per se, them messing with the sticky stuff.
Right.
We saw Glasnow get hurt. I hope it doesn't hurt players' rhythms and pitchers' rhythms specifically too much to the point that it results in injury. But if they're lessening games by 25 minutes, look, they want baseball to be more exciting.
Right.
So the next rule we're getting into, shift restrictions, like the increase in stolen bases have gone astronomically down. Okay?
Right.
Players being on base have gone down.
They're going to go up now, though.
Yes.
Bigger bases and the lack of pickoffs, too. So if you've used your 2 pickoffs on that batter already and there's a man on first, let's say Tatis or whoever is known for stealing bases, Trey Turner, you know that he can't pick you off anymore after the second time. Got a bigger lead.
Yeah. You bring up we'll go to the big bases. First, second, third increase from 15 inches square to 18 inches square. Bigger bases expected to have positive impact on player safety. Distance reduced by 3 inches from home to first and home to third. Reduced by 4.5 inches from first to second, second to third. Really, obviously, like
so it's not really 90 feet anymore.
No, it's not. The big base stealing areas. First to second, second to third. And you're right. You're going to see guys, and I want to pose like a kind of a curveball, no pun intended, to you at the end of this. You're going to see guys steal a lot more bases.
For sure.
And you're going to see guys being told to steal more bases and getting, they're going to gun them more because the injury, what do they reduce? Bigger bases reduced injury events near the bases by more than 13%. So if you have a guy like Ronald Acuna Jr. or Tatis Jr. who are injury prone, but have a propensity to steal bases and are good at stealing bases, more inclined to send them because the risk of injury is lower.
Without a doubt.
Shift.
And just you get 4 extra inches.
Yes, that's true. Who doesn't like that? Shift restrictions. 2 infielders must be positioned on either side of second base when pitch is released. All 4 infielders must have both feet within the infield when pitcher is on rubber. Shift restrictions increase batting average and decrease strikeouts in minors while giving players more opportunity to show off their athleticism. I don't know how they measured the ability to show off athleticism, but I'm all for that. I've always hated the shift.
I'm all for it too. The shift has gotten really out of control within the last 5 to 10 years. Obviously, we've seen the shift, throughout our entire lifetime, but the fact that you can throw out 3 guys on the right side of the infield, right? And one of the guys can be literally playing short right field and just take away any hit that a left-handed pull hitter can throw that way. It's pretty ridiculous. And you're going to see a lot of guys who are big pull hitters have huge upticks in their average. And Matt Carpenter on the Padres, was talking about hitting into the shift, lefty. And he's like, there's at least 10 hits every single year that get taken away from the shift.
Yeah.
I could see at least 10 hits that I could say that one's taken away from the shift.
I mean, off the dome, like Anthony Rizzo, I feel is a massive, just another guy that's a
Freddie
massive,
Freeman.
So that was my question to you is, I'd love future bets.
So like a lefty pull hitter who already hits fine with the shift.
I got Freddie Freeman at plus 1,400, betonline.ag.
Yeah, I mean, they've lost some players on that offense too, so he's really going to have to step it up to really be that guy. I mean, maybe.
You throw out your Padres, you got Juan Soto, another lefty at plus 600.
I think he's the favorite right now in all of baseball.
And you bring up steals. We bring up Ronald Acuna Jr. I got him at plus 1,000.
He's a righty, though.
He's a righty, but if he can go 40-40, if he plays a full season, he can go 40-40.
Sure. I don't know if he's playing a full season. And secondly, I don't know if he's taken off that many times. I think they're easing it into it.
Yeah, he was tops in stolen bases last year. He didn't pull full. I'm pulling the stats because I want to get it right. He was close to 30-30 last year. Sure. And so I think he played less than 120 games. He played 119 games, 29 steals, 15 home runs. His home runs were down. So this obviously a guy that we know that has some pop, but he's a great base stealer as well.
Sure.
He almost did it a couple years ago. He went 41 home runs and 37 stolen bases. So if there's no leash on this guy and he's all systems go, he's a guy that has a shot. In the AL, I have a tough time.
Is Bryce Harper missing games to start the season?
Yeah, he won't be back to the All-Star break.
Yeah,
Otherwise, he'd be a great pick.
Yeah.
Trey Turner, though, in that case, honestly, if he propels the Phillies to first in the East, without Bryce Harper being there, he's an interesting play as well.
Definitely, but I always am timid to bet on guys who are in a new landing spot, right, a new home.
Yeah,
we've known that they don't digress a ton, but there's an adjustment period.
Yeah, absolutely. And then another guy, look, in the AL for me, it's very difficult. I can't
Ohtani
not
or
bet.
Judge.
Ohtani, Judge, Trout. Until it's said otherwise,
Yeah.
I can't bet against those guys. If I'm like, hey, here's a flyer, just give it a shot. You want to maybe cash out big.
I'd say Ohtani, honestly, just because the
Even
shift.
still?
Yeah, the shift getting banned right now.
He's a lefty as well. Yeah, Kyle Tucker. Yordan Alvarez, two guys in the Astros. These are flyer. Yordan's plus 1,400.
Yeah, but
Kyle
Yordan's a
Tucker's
DH, right?
Yeah, Kyle Tucker's plus 35. He plays in the field sometimes, but Kyle Tucker's not a DH. Plus 3,500. Guy that steals bases as well. Lefty. It helps him with the shift. So he's a guy that I would take a flyer on. But again, with those three guys, it's also interesting. If strikeouts are going down, batting average is going up. It's more adverse to the pitchers. But if there are these guys that shine through.
If you get 300 strikeouts still.
Oh, my God, 300. I mean, if you go for 250 still, and then you cook for an ERA that's lower than a 2.2.
Yeah.
If someone goes under 2 this year, and they go for over 250 strikeouts, if DeGrom does that, which I don't think he will, but if a Scherzer does that, if Corbin Burns does that, and the Brewers go to the playoffs.
Right.
When they probably shouldn't. He could have a sneaky shot. And those guys are plus 10,000.
Yeah, I mean, when's the last time a pitcher won?
Kershaw.
Besides Ohtani, of course. But
Kershaw.
Yeah.
Kershaw, Verlander. Kershaw 2014, Verlander 2011, something like that. The guys have done it in our lifetime for sure. It's not.
I'm looking for Garrett Cole to have a big bounce back year. I mean, he wasn't awful last year, but he wasn't that $300 million guy that we all expect him to be in New York. I think he's going to have a big bounce back here.
Again, another guy, if the Yankees are the best team in the AL and he's a guy that dominates.
And he's got a sub 2.5 and he's, got 250 plus.
Well, you're looking for a guy to get 300. I think he might be your best bet.
For sure.
Rodon coming there eases some of the pressure of him having to be that guy.
And this could sound a little strange, but with that shift getting banned in Yankee Stadium, right? The right field porch is obviously so super short there. The outfield has way less ground to cover, right? Because you're either playing the wall or you're playing the the line drives or the bloops out there. So I think it benefits people playing in Yankee Stadium, pitching in Yankee Stadium, because hits can get taken away easier in that right field.
Yeah, it's more beneficial to be pitching your home games, actually. Yeah, it's a good point at Yankee Stadium. Because
for the shift, at least.
Yeah, for the shift, because it's easier, so it affects them less. Yeah, it's a really good point. I didn't even think of that. So Garrett Cole is another interesting play. And these, again, we haven't gotten to the full grand scheme of hey, these are our picks, these are our Cy Young picks. I'm just talking about based off these, your MVP picks.
Sure.
Off the cuff of these new rules. But very exciting stuff for baseball.
Yeah, I mean, look, at the end of the day, there's been so much tug and pull and just flip-flopping back and forth on what people want to do and stuff, and there's so many purists, and I think we both consider ourselves purists, but
for sure.
There are things about the game that do need to change that are better for the game, that make it more entertaining, that aren't going to really hurt the stats or hurt the history or the integrity of the game. Like everything that was implemented here just makes it more exciting.
Yeah, no, 100%. And I'm all for. I'm a purist, but I don't think the shift's pure. I don't think it's a.
Well, I mean, they weren't shifting back in the 70s.
No, it's a new thing.
60s, 50s.
There's some Tampa Bay Rays BS.
There's always new stuff going in and out.
I'm blaming them for it.
There's always new stuff going in and out of baseball. Like, I mean, look, when this game started, no one was using gloves. They were using their bare hands. Like,
would you be down for a bare hand game?
No,
It's so dangerous.
I would not be down for that.
A bare hand game.
Would not be down.
Bare hand inning.
No.
That'd be so dangerous, but exciting nonetheless.
I'll go no batting gloves.
Moises Alou, Jorge Posada.
Yeah, pee on your hands.
Who does the no batting gloves these days?
Will Myers.
Yeah, it's really worked out for him.
Yeah. I feel like there's someone
Carpenter.
else. Matt Carpenter, yeah, he's one of them. There was an Astro for Gaddis, Evan Gaddis.
Kyle Tucker.
I think Tucker's a batting glove.
No, I think he's no batting gloves.
No?
We'll see. We'll pull pick maybe John Birdie on the
Yeah.
Marlins.
Joey Wendell.
Yes, that's who I was thinking of. It was some guy that played on the Marlins.
They all look like they don't have traditional batting stances either. It's always like so like wonky, like Hunter Pence style.
That was the disgusting thing to look at. Hunter Pence.
Was he the most like, in terms of just aesthetic of how he played the game? Did he play the game uglier than anyone else?
I mean, he played the game like a trailer park.
His throwing motion, his batting stance, his swing.
It was all
Great guy. Not a bad looking guy, but like the way that he played the game was ugly.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm looking at some Bryce Harper's gone no gloves before. Yeah, the way he played the game was disgusting. Not appealing at all. He ran pretty weird too, I think. Just
like
throwing that out there.
Goofy guy.
Goofy guy. There was a period of time where he really embraced. There were so many signs, like Hunter Pence showers with the lights off. Hunter Pence didn't finish Game of Thrones. Hunter Pence still breastfeeds, like all that stuff. They were
Still breastfeeds.
There were signs. This is not like me like coming.
I don't know
up
if
with
that's like a knock on Hunter Pence or Hunter Pence's mom.
Yeah.
Or is it his mom that he breastfeeds from? Or
I don't
someone else?
know.
If it's someone else, then
somebody
whatever, that might be cool.
just like a nurse of sorts. But that was like a sign in the stands for a little bit. So good for he had some funny moments in baseball. But yeah, that's the Daily Stripe.